Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and you see this logo up here, this one that I always put up to brand my videos so that you know exactly what the main topic is for each video, even though glancing at the title might prove the same thing. You know, it's cool. I like the look of it, and so does a lot of people, so that's why I do it. Well, I might have to get rid of that guy because Uber is actually going to change their logo again. And in fact, if things had been going according to plan, we would have been using a different logo than this one because that's not even Uber's logo right now. It technically, anyone who's looked at the app knows that Uber has a very different logo, but I don't exactly know what it is, and no one was able to figure it out. Maybe that's one of the reasons they're changing it. But Uber, for the second time in just a few short years, are completely rebranding themselves. And you can definitely bet this has something to do with the upcoming IPO. So according to Fast Company, less than 3 years after rebranding, Uber has a new logo and typeface called Uber Move that's designed to evoke safety and accessibility, not masculine bravado. Funny. So, I think that might be the Uber logo, I guess, but there's a few pictures here. We're going to look at them as we take a look at this article. So, Uber is slowly rebuilding its reputation after ousting CEO Travis Kalanick, who built a successful but hostile corporate culture. He also created a bad culture for the drivers. The company has released ads with new CEO Dara Khosrowshahi riding an Uber to promote a fresh start. Oh yeah, and I probably will talk about those ads at some point. And now, through a rebranding led by global brand consultancy Wolf Olens, we're seeing what Uber looks like if it's not built upon the iconography of Silicon Valley bravado, but a new set of ideals, safety, accessibility, and global ambitions, but not fair wages and not fair treatment of employees. I'm just throwing that out there. They didn't say that. So after we pass this ad, quote, in the US, it's like the Cola War, says Forrest Young, creative director at Wolf Olens, of the competition between Uber and Lyft to be an American consumer. #1 pick for writing. Unfortunately, with all the communications being so focused on this competitive mindset, a lot of people are blind to the impact of Uber in other parts of the world. We tried to tell a global mobility story rather than something about cars and cars alone, which, yeah, Uber's trying to get away from cars. Their CEO even said cars were not the business future. Bikes apparently were. So that makes sense. Now, this is what the new logo is going to look like. As you can see, it's a little bit more basic. The last Uber logo definitely looked unique. It looked very Uberish, but the regular Uber is just regular font, which is brilliant because I can't think of any other multi-billion-dollar company that recently decided to take their totally unique looking logo and turn it into a basic font that looked exactly like everyone else's. Really, I just can't think about that. I don't know anyone else who's doing that. None whatsoever. Okay, this visual joke is probably getting old, so let's clear all this off the screen and, continue. So, this is Uber's second major brand overhaul in less than 3 years. The Uber logo in particular has been tweaked over time, but it was still an imposing all-caps monolith. The word Uber was a visual manspread, evoking the members-only corporate club from Uber's roots, and an on-demand black car service for Silicon Valley's elite. Okay, now I know I'm definitely reading a professional press release article when people are taking that thing and saying, oh yeah, that's less masculine. Whatever. The app icon was a confounding, highly controversial circuit board thing that seemed only tangibly related. Yeah, well, of course, it should also be noted, and I made the video, God, it's been a couple of years at this point, that their old CEO, Travis Kalanick, designed that logo. He insisted on using those logos, even though all the engineers and the board members didn't know what the heck he was trying to convey with it and thought it was a bad idea. But, Kalanick did what Kalanick did. Wolf Olens began its exploration by traveling aboard to markets like India to see how the Uber brand lived there. A story began to emerge. Uber messengers rode bikes in 100-degree heat, sweating through on-brand black uniforms. Many riders and drivers could not read, and the app icon was a confusing mismatch to that Uber word mark. Vehicles would arrive and people wouldn't know, is this my ride or not? Uber Silicon Valley branding didn't scale globally. Okay. For nearly the past year, Wolf Owens, I keep wanting to say Wolf Owens for some reason, worked with LA-based type design studio MCKL to develop a new logo and custom typeface for the company. Young points out that the old Uber logo evoked the history of cars. You're talking about the adrenaline letters that live on a grill. The letters are squarish and hyper-masculine. But thinking beyond the car to flying cars. We're still talking about those damn flying cars. A tuk-tuk in Delhi or a scooter in LA. What's an entity that's broad enough to be colored by all these modelings that are yet to be defined rather than constrained to the automated space? I don't know, but letters are pretty universal. They go from making comics to writing novels, writing help biographies to 5 Best Ways to Improve Your Life by Joel Osteen. Letters are not discriminatory. Well, anyway, let's look at this real quick. Let's just see what this looks like. They have a little video here. Yay, that was educational. So anyway, let's move on from that pointlessness. In turn, Wolf Owens developed a word mark to be accessible worldwide. It still has the word Uber with a capital U and everything else lowercase. So instead of being Uber, it's Uber. Uber, whatever. Young points out that it makes the word Uber more legible to everyone as it's easier to read letters of different shapes and sizes, and crucially, it enhances the difference between the first and last letters of the word, which your brain scans first and keeps words legible even when misspelled. Or people could just... I don't even know what their point is. Are they basically accusing all the Uber drivers and riders of being illiterate? I mean, I guess if you go to... I don't know. Uber is trying to proof its logo against spelling mistakes. Yeah, it's 4 letters. How can you mistake that? Rounded geometries make the whole logo look friendly, a look other global companies like Google and Airbnb have also embraced. So, here we have another visual thing. What a difference. I'm sure it makes it look all the more friendly, I'm sure. Starting with a draft logo, Wolf Owens and MCKL went back and forth to develop an accompanying typeface, an extension of the brand identity that could live in every letter of every means of communication. It was like developing the chicken and the egg in tandem, and the co-development of these two projects inform one another. That's how a lot of projects take form, says MCKL founder Jeremy McKell. The typeface and fonts are related. It makes sense to leading getting the logo right and making words that's derived from that aspect. I'm just curious, you know. I just bought this from a bookstore randomly for my other channel, so I made a video about it already there. But look, those letters aren't anywhere what Uber's doing. Are you guys having a hard time reading that? Maybe this word because it's kind of made up, but these I'm pretty sure you can just read fine. And those words, you can probably read those words fine. So this is just a lot of nonsense. It really is. I don't even know, why am I making this video? Oh yeah, because it's a new logo. You know what? Let's get down to here, because apparently this is what the logo on the app is going to look like, and I'll admit that's better. That's better. But so was their, you know, iconic U icon as well. Like, they should have never stuck with that stupid purple cell thing, whatever the heck it is, and they should have gone back to the word a long time ago. I don't know if the different font means anything, but I mean, that's slightly nicer. Here's the fun part. As for Uber's controversial app logo, an intricate atom design that replaced the black and silver U 2 years ago. That is going away as part of this rebrand. From now on, the Uber app will simply be the Uber word mark on a black backdrop. Quote, one thing we heard was a lot of drivers and riders didn't understand what the symbol was. You'd get picked up by the car and it would say Uber, but it wouldn't marry with the app. We tried to kick out all micro moments where trust was eroded. The same thing you see in their app is on the pickup signs and windshields. All these things become simpatico rather than having a new mark and spending a lot of money to create awareness. So, you know, that's right. That's why you should never have changed that to the atom in the first place. The logo and the typeface are part of Uber's larger rebranding strategy led by Wolf Owens. Altogether, they serve a message. Uber doesn't want to be an Ayn Rand archetype anymore. It wants to be the way you move in the future. That message is powerful, sure. But now Uber as a company needs to live up to it. And yes, and it's because Uber You know, let's just go back. Let us go back up to that logo and let us enjoy the visual great difference of it. So what are my thoughts on this? Well, I think it's been pretty clear. Okay, granted, I like the new logo better than the Atom, or that little a-hole that, you know, it looked like it was on the Pastor app. So that looks a lot better. I will admit that. But you see things like this, and it's just one more reminder that Uber's goal right now is rebranding and their image. They still, to this day, don't care about customer satisfaction. They still, to this day, do not care about rider satisfaction. They are not here to treat drivers fair. They're not here to pay them well. They are not here to stop ripping people off with upfront pricing that results in like 50% of the fare going to Uber, even though people are under the impression that 80% of the fare is going to the driver. Uber is not going to fix any of that, but they're going to make themselves look a little nicer. Now, does this look any nicer to you? I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't. I don't think any differently about Uber when I see that logo. I don't think that logo tells a story. It's just their name, and I've seen many logos like it, as I demonstrated earlier. So I don't know. So good for them, I guess. It's nice that they're spending millions of dollars on this logo stuff and on an app we don't want, rather than just, why don't they just take this millions of dollars, just pay us 25 cents more a mile, which is what we really want, and no one was complaining about the app or anything in the first place. So that's my opinion. What about yours? Do you like the new logo, dislike it? I don't know. I'd love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.